You know, when I was a child and I started to eat a lot and I was just gaining weight and I started to balloon, and the more that I got bigger, the more that my mom or my dad, my family would love to cook all the things I love to eat. But at the same time, they would tell me to stop eating. So they were giving me mixed messages. And then when I got bigger, I love eating all the foods, and then they would put me down by saying, but you're too heavy, so stop eating. So it was a never-ending cycle. Cook me all the foods I want to eat, but tell me I can't eat it because I'm getting too fat. And then what would I do? I would go out of the house, I would go buy something fast food, I would get the super size, wherever it was. I was not in the house, I was binging. And so I was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but I was getting mixed messages from my family, the people who cared most about me. And that was so frustrating. If you love your child and you really care about your child, you want that child to be healthy in every which way, in mind, in body, and spirit. And in order to do that, you can't give your child mixed messages. And you can't cook them, a huge meatloaf and allow them to eat half of it. It's just not going to work. Loving your kid doesn't mean keep giving them sodas. Loving your kid means giving them things that are healthy, giving them an opportunity to have a healthy lifestyle, to grow up and to be vibrant, to be able to do sports and to do all of these things. Because when they're fat, it affects them in school. It affects them psychologically with their friends, with their self-esteem, and it affects them with their schoolwork. Because when a kid is fat, they're very sluggish in their mind. They're sluggish in their mind, they're sluggish in their body, they're sluggish in their self-esteem. And when all of that is sluggish, you think your child's happy? Parents, you're the adults. You know better. The kids don't know. They rely on you, and you set the example. So take a look at the foods. Read the label. Look at what you're feeding your kids, because what you're feeding them is going to affect the way that they grow. And if you're not doing it, who is? So people who are fat later in life, it's because their lifestyle has always been like this. That's what they learn, that's what they know. So therefore, in their adult life, they're heavy, they're fat. So teach them to be healthy, and then they grow up to have a healthy lifestyle. So you got to remember, you are the ones who are teaching them to have the lifestyle. You're the ones who are in control. You're the ones who are the adult. You're the ones that are setting the example. So you got to remember, if you love your child, set the right example.